Just was watching a video on Kenny and Shawn Porter from Dante's Boxing Network or Dante's Boxing Nation. Big shout outs to him and all his work. You know what's up. I saw a few things. Kenny Porter, he's not the best trainer. He's not the best for technique and or strategy, it seems. But he is definitely the best man to motivate his son naturally, because he's his father, and naturally he can get more out of him than anyone else, being his father, being his rock, being his progenitor. So after watching the video, they need to tweak some technicalities and maybe develop a bit more strategy. They need to work on when to push the pace, how to push the pace, more setup punches, in and out footwork. And I know we only saw snippets, but I'm just saying it just seems like that's all they do is. I'm being a little judgmental about only go off what I saw, and so I'm just commenting on the snippets that I saw. And man, Shawn Porter, he puts in work, and I think a peekaboo style would be excellent for Shawn Porter, like a Mike Tyson type of, Floyd Patterson peekaboo type of style, man. A custom D'Amato type trainer would have been great for him as well too, looking at his size and stature. Now, the main thing I wanted to address in this video was the weight cutting. Kenny, towards the end of the video, Mr. Kenny Porter was talking about weight cutting. He was saying, yeah, Shawn about 160. I tell him to go run, and he'll come back 2 pounds lighter, about 158, 157. And I was thinking, I hope he's just being secretive and clandestine with their weight cutting tactics. Because if that's all Shawn is doing, besides sparring and other workouts, just running to cut weight, then this kid is going to be burnt out way before the fight. He's going to be burnt out. Trust me, I know the feeling, y'all. I used to do all this weight cutting and stuff too. And shoot, it brings me sweet sorrow. Brings me memories of having to run and cut a pound or two, which for me was my least favorite amount on way to cut weight, was to run. There's so many other quality ways and methods to cut weight, but exercises such as running knocks out two birds with one stone. You get the road work and you get the cardio work along with the with the weight cutting. But I remember having 1.5 bathroom visits or 1.5 pound bathroom sittings. I remember the portion meals, if you could call them meals. I remember cutting weight and having to measure out 6 ounces of water. That'll be a meal. And another meal might be 2 granola bars. Or another meal might be a large Gatorade. And whoa, that Gatorade is serious, y'all. If any of y'all have ever cut weight in combative arts, you know that Gatorade could put anywhere on from half a pound to 2 pounds on you of weight instantly. But you never fret because it's water weight. And everybody knows, or at least you should know, that water weight is way more easier to cut than hamburger weight, than bread weight, than pasta or chicken weight, etc. And I know a lot of grapplers, a lot of ex-boxers, taekwondo artists, and combatants in general whose growth has been stunted, or either they've blown up like balloons due to weight cutting. And me personally, because I'm ranting a little bit about myself, I used to cut anywhere between 8 to 15 pounds to make weight throughout my whole career, right? And to have discipline to stay around that range, or your range of weight, is another art in itself. When you start having to cut 20 pounds and take laxatives and drain yourself and miss more than 2 or 3 days of meals, or to take blood out, then that blasted, you shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't be doing it. Somebody should advise against it, because you're doing something dangerous towards your health. And I know, you got money, you got people depending on you, but I'd advise just boss up and just get stronger and do whatever. Don't do that, y'all. Don't do that. I can remember I was grappling out 174 pounds, and I would usually cut between 10 and 12 pounds to make weight. And that's because I know I could cut weight easily within the week of a contest, which is also bad, y'all. You really want to cut weight gradually so you don't lose too much strength and get too dehydrated. But I would cut between 10 and 12 pounds within the week of the contest. Now, it didn't have to be like this, but I was very lax with my diet. I was drinking wine a lot. I was eating chicken tenders and steaks and, doing silly stuff, such as Broner. That's all I understand him as a young man, drinking, partying. But I remember one time, my coach asked me to get down to 165, which was an extra 9 pounds. So from 10, 12 pounds to 20, 22 pounds. And at first, I was all the way downward. I knew I was disciplined. I knew I worked hard. I fasted. I was drinking water for breakfast, and water for lunch, then have a rare piece of fruit, suck down some honey. And I did all this for about a week and a half. And I remember I got down to 167. Now, at that time, I only had 4% body fat. And I could have cut those last 2 pounds to make 165. But I said, you know what, coach? Flush it. I don't want to do it. I can do it, but I don't want to have to cut like this for the rest of the year. I don't want to have to cut like this for another year and feel weak all year long just to trying to drain to get some perceived advantage at a lower weight. I said I'd rather just get stronger. I'll just up the weight, whatever. I'll up whatever regiment you got. I just rather fight up. I'm not finna be feeling like this before these fights, because a lot of fighting is mental. We've already discussed that. I'd rather feel strong at a higher weight than have to kill myself to go down to a weight class below and try to have some perceived advantage. All right, I'll just have to get stronger, coach. That's it. And it's crazy, y'all, when you haven't eaten all day, all you had is 7, 8 ounces of water, or however many ounces of water, and you're sparring like a madman. You're training ferociously, and you still have to cut weight, and then you still have to get treated with the trainers and the doctors for the little bumps and bruises you get after sparring sessions. And then you still have to weigh in and weigh out at every session that you have, and then you got to get drug tested. It weighs on you psychologically. It flushes with your equilibrium. It flushes with your stamina. You could barely walk around. Anything you eat or drink, even if it's small, adds substantial weight to you. And we all know you need water at least to survive. So imagine you cutting 12 pounds, and you halfway there. Man, a big glass of water, man, you'd be surprised. Like we were saying earlier, Gatorade is going to add 2 pounds right there. But you don't fret because it's water weight. But let's say you lose discipline and go out and get you a sandwich. You go to a little Subway and get you a sandwich, man. Then you be praying on the next bowel movement. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. And mind you, y'all, all my contests, I've been a grappler, an amateur boxer, or an amateur pugilist, and a mixed martial artist. And in all my contests, we had same-day weigh-ins. So you didn't have time to play around with the antics of weight cutting. Anyway, after that year, I think it was either 03 or 04, I totally changed my diet, went vegetarian for a few months, but I got too light in the ass. I lost a little bit of muscle, even though I felt healthy and I felt light and good and quick. But then I said, all right, I'll just do fish and chicken, and everything else, and just cut out beef, red meats, cut out milk, cut out certain breads, and just work out hard. Y'all know, sparring, weights, technique, cardio, etc. And that was the easiest time I had cutting weight that season and for the next 2 seasons. I wasn't crash cutting 12 pounds in 3 days and shit. And hell, at most of the tournaments, I remember after I changed my diet, it took me about 3 months to be disciplined and change and stick to my diet. And the tournaments from then on out, the tournaments the next 2-3 years, I would get there and I would be weighing a pound or 2 underweight, like how B-Hop and Floyd and them do. And that's how you know a disciplined fighter who knows how to be strong at their weight, who knows how to cut weight without being drained, who knows how to cut weight without feeling weak or being weak, physically weak, who knows how to cut down without bringing detriment to their health. And I'm saying all this to say that I'm worried about Porter with these 3 pounds. The dude is already naturally about 160, 165, according to his dad. He's probably a little more than that because he used to fight a little heavier in the amateurs. But his papa said he's naturally about 160, 165. And he's cutting to get down to 144, y'all. That's between 21 and 16 pounds. And at that high level, I don't want to say it's dangerous. It's manageable, but it's not preferred. You heard me? It's manageable, but it's not preferred. You want to be within 10 to 15 pounds of your weight always, or lower. But at the least, Or excuse me, I should say at the most, you want to be 15 pounds away from your weight. And anything more than that, from my experience, it just takes a large toll on your body, on your mind. We saw what happened to Roy Jones Jr. Y'all remember when he went up to heavyweight, and he went up to heavyweight to fight, I think, Ruiz, and then he cut all that muscle mass, all that weight to go down and fight Tarver. And I mean, we could say age and reflexes, maybe, but that weight cutting had a lot to do with him, getting bombed on, getting KO like that. And in my opinion, if I was the coach or the trainer, or any coach or trainer, in my opinion, you should advise. Let's just take Roy Jones' situation. If I was Roy Jones' coach or trainer, I would advise him. I said, look, Roy, man, just stay at heavyweight, or do the trendy thing, the new trendy thing now, which is call for a catchweight, have a catchweight fight. But the mentality of a true fighter, the old school fighters, is to man up, is to get your G's up. So that's why I always give props to fighters like Roy Jones and dudes who aren't trying to drain you for an extra advantage. Anywho, Porter's playing a dangerous game, and I know his camp knows the risk. I know his dad, Kenny, is not the most knowledgeable trainer, but he is, because he's training his son. He knows his son, and he's the best man. The father's the best man for the child when it comes to getting the spirit and the mental up for their sons, y'all. All right? And also with him taking this risk with the 3 pounds, Porter knows he needs the exposure. He knows he needs a big win against someone like a Broner to get back into prime status, to become A-side again. And as a coach and a trainer myself, I don't let the combatants I train cut more than 15 pounds to still be effective. I ain't gonna say 15, maybe around 19, 20. If they have to cut more than, let's say, 20 pounds, I advise them to just go up a weight, or just stay at the weight they're at, or cut down to a closer weight. It's just not healthy to cut more than 20 pounds, y'all. It's not healthy. I've seen many retired and ex-combatants with stunted growth, brittle bones, and y'all might not know this, but there's all sorts of complications from years of cutting too much weight, y'all, that you could receive. All sorts of liver damage and kidney damage, stones, all type of crazy stuff, man. Dudes be having eating disorders, y'all. It sounds crazy, but dudes be having eating disorders like women, or they're addicted to certain pills. Y'all be surprised. Or the worst thing, after years of cutting and you stop cutting weight, dudes be blowing up looking obese. Not super bad, but super fat. They look like, man, you see some dudes, they look like they never ever laced up a shoe or a glove to fight or to be a combatant anytime before in their life. They look like all they used to do was pick up burgers and tell jokes and, play Sega and all that. There's always exceptions to the rule, though. There's always exceptions, but the exception is not the rule. Exceptions are special cases. Dudes that are fat, usually heavyweights and cruiserweights, it's way easier for them to cut 20, 30 pounds and still be healthy and still retain muscle mass. Dudes such as Areola or Molina from Saturday Night, or Tubbs, or the older Foreman when he was older in his 40s. They can stand to cut 30 pounds and be all right. Hell, they'll even be quicker and more alert too. It's beneficial for them to cut 20 and 30 pounds. And I was watching the end of Dante's video, and Kenny Porter was exactly right. He said, feeling good about yourself means a lot to a fighter. And he's exactly right, y'all. That good feeling brings everything else into fruition. Put it like this, and Kenny Porter spoke on this as well. If you cut 5 pounds in one day, you know you feel good, you know you worked out hard, you know you can go and eat a hearty, healthy, big 3-pound meal. You know you can do that. And that's another thing. Another thing was crazy. I remember before fights and before grappling contests and before whatever contest we was in, we would get plates of food and we would literally put the damn food on the scale. Put it in bags and put it on the scale to see how much weight we was going to take it. Shit is crazy, man. But if you cut 5 pounds, you had a good workout that day, like, oh wow, I cut 5 pounds this day, you can eat a 3-pound meal, and you'll still have the confidence in the spirit to easily finish cutting weight for the rest of that training camp. All right, that's enough for now. Big ups to Shawn Porter, big ups to Adrian Broner, even though he's using the catch weight drain trick, the blueprint tactics, which seems to be the big thing now. But they both adults. Porter knows what he signed up for. Both Kenny and Shawn, and anybody else that agrees to catch weights or that brings them up, they know what they're doing, and the person that agrees, they know what they signed up for. So, everything the camp should have well calculated the risk. I know it'll be a good fight. I'm just a little worried. I don't know if he'll be able to, still have that knockout power. But anywho, I'm still betting on this one. It's been a while since I bet it. I've been on and on with luck, but I'm betting on this one. No, I won the the Mayweather Pacquiao bet. Yeah, but I'm betting on this one. I got Porter by TKO. Can't wait. We'll see you. We love boxing.